storytelling, so bear with me. Okay, as Misty already introduced me, my name is Moni, and I'm gay. Now, why is that important? Is that all that matter, my sexuality? Not really, but my story today is going to be about it. I don't use my gay card that often, I'm sorry. But most of the time I do, I have it, so might as well use it. So yeah, I'm gay and my story is going to be about it. It's going to be about me switching between two worlds too often in life. Okay, let's begin. Once upon a time, there lived a young provincial boy in a province called Stem Trang province. It is 400 kilometers away from Phnom Penh. It is 8 hours away by bus. It is next to the Lao border, super far. Nobody lives there, literally nobody. Nothing happened there. We don't have club, we don't have, now we have karaoke. We don't have games. We don't even have, the beer garden where my people drink. We don't even have that, It's crazy. I don't know how I lived there for 16 years. But that was my life, for 16 years living in that province. That was me. And I am 1/4 Cambodian, 1/4 Laos, 1/4 Chinese, also Vietnamese, but too far away. Anyway, these three was my identification and nationality, these three. So I grew up in a Lao, Cambodian, Chinese household. My mom is Lao, Vietnamese, too far away again. And then my father is Chinese, Cambodian. So I have literally 4 nationality, 4 culture in my house. I grew up speaking Khmer, Cambodian, also Lao, so I speak Lao, Khmer, and then later on I learned English. I also was going to learn Chinese, however, I was being too stubborn. I did not learn Chinese. It's a regret, to be honest. Like, the only thing I know is what I need, which means I love you. So that was me. A little background on my family now. My dad used to be a high school principal, again in a small town where everybody knows each other. And then my grandmother used to work for the government. When the Cambodian party started coming up after Khmer Rouge, my grandmother joined and she used to work for the government in the small town, again, where every fucking body knows each other. So everybody knows my family, know me, my dad, my brother, my mother, my cousin, everybody. And in a Chinese household, if you're Chinese, Selena, you're Chinese, well, I don't grow up in a Chinese culture. But anyway, so if you're Chinese, you know that Chinese people love boys. They value sons. The oldest son is like the diamond of the family. You're everything. They carry on your family legacy. They carry on your family name. So they love boys. My dad was that boy. My dad was the oldest son in his generation. He was a diamond of his generation. He produced 2 more diamonds, me and my bigger brother, which is not me. Me and my bigger brother, who are now the diamond of our generation, the new one. Okay, so we grew up having expectation on us. When everybody knows you, your family, your dad's a high school principal, for God's sake. Your grandmother works in the government, so everybody was on us. So me and my brother grew up having expectation on us, thinking of how we could ruin our family image, think of how we should always save our family face. So the word saving face means that you don't humiliate someone. For example, don't be a thief if you get out as police. Don't ruin his image, don't ruin his reputation, don't ruin his face. So me and my brother grew up with that culture. Growing up in a Chinese, Lao, Cambodian, Vietnamese household where you always make sure that your family, you yourself, is at 100% rate perfect. We didn't though. We were, I would say perfect, but yeah, so we were that. We did great. We had good grade. We graduated high school. We behaved amazingly in front of our friends and family. We were good, I would say. We don't have any complaint yet, by far. So we were good. Now, high school is over. And for me, I am getting ready to start university. So, I wanted to study in the city like my brother. He got to escape all of the fucking bullshit in the province. But my family wants me to study in the province to save money. Fucking Asian. So I had no choice but to say bang, which means yes in Khmer in a manly way. Say, sure, dad, yes, I will do everything you say, be the perfect son, and I study in the province. Even though I get a lot of bullying from being gay, being a little bit feminine, dressing weird like right now. So that was me, kind of ruining myself for my family. But thanks to universe or God, whoever believes in God, I got a scholarship. And like every Asian family, they would never turn away free stuff. I begged my parents to go. With little cash, I said, I'm gonna go to the province with this scholarship. I'm gonna study in that university. I will always come back for any holiday to always be your perfect boy. They agreed. So I've been living here for 3 years now. I am enjoying myself. Having my best gay life in blue chili, hot dogs. Crazy. And this story is where our story began. Chinese New Year was last month, January. So I went back as always. I went back to every holidays, okay. Commander Year, Chinese Year, Water Festival, World Boat Racing Festival. All of the holidays, I always go there because I promised them to always be present. Okay. So this year, Chinese New Year, great, kinda. But Chinese New Year in my family is awesome. As long as I remember, every Chinese Year in my family, so my family, different tradition. In my family, the female wake up really early in the morning, go buy grocery and then cook all traditional Chinese food, hot pot, chicken, fried noodle, basic stuff. And then the male, most of my family own businesses, the male would go to work and then they would leave their businesses at lunchtime to come to our gong's house, our grandfather's house in Cantonese, gong gong. And they would eat and drink and stuff. Super sexist, I know. But that's how tradition works, so I can't really argue with tradition, but sometimes. So, and for me, when I was younger, during Chinese New Year, me and my other sibling would do nothing. So the siblings who are young and unmarried, we do nothing. We just eat, play around, not go to school for half of the morning, and then get rat pocket or ang bao, which is money. We get money for Chinese New Year, probably the best thing ever. So that was me. I love Chinese New Year. However, I am not young anymore. Yes, I just acknowledge I'm not young. I am currently 19. I am finishing. I know.
Youngest person in the audience might be.
Okay. I know. I am finishing my bachelor in tourism, and I am working full-time as a teacher. So I would say I am an adult now, not young anymore. Not a kid. Okay, let's say not a kid anymore. So this year going back was a little bit different. Well, it's still sexist. The females still cook, the males still work, like that. But I get to join the uncle's table. You might wondering what is the uncle's table because you're not Chinese, so I'm going to explain that. The uncle's table is where all of the male supreme, white male supreme Asian dude who work in businesses sit, basically. So it's just a table where all of my dad, not all, what do you mean? That was wrong grammar, apologize. Okay. All of my uncles and dad, all my uncles and my dad sits in that table. So all of the boys, they eat, drink, talk about businesses, gossip, whatever. So that was the boys' table, the uncle's table. Only the supreme big daddy can sit there. and I got invited this year. This year it was my first time ever invited to join that table.
Big
my
daddy.
uncle called me and be like, yo, come sit here. And I was like, oh la la, what is this? I was containing my gay happiness. Okay, yeah, I'll sit there. Yeah. I was super happy. I was super happy to be sitting on that table, to be counting as one of them, to be thinking that they are proud of me, to be proud of myself, that they think that I am a old adult who deserves to be sitting next to them. So I was happy and proud of myself. However, when I was sitting there, a lot of thoughts going through my head. a lot of thought was about me, how I am openly gay in the city, but my extended family in the province doesn't know. So extended family means aunts and uncle. They don't know. Okay. So me sitting on this table as straight as possible, figuratively and literally like straight, nothing else. And eating, drinking as much as I can to be like, yo, I'm manly, dude. And yeah, that's Cambodia culture. You drink, you man. And they ask questions like, how's work? Do you have a girlfriend yet? And I would just go be like, are they? Which means no. I shake my hand to prove that I'm on the same level as them, and I say no to ensure them that I am still studying, don't get me wrong. And that was me. They're on that table thinking, I need to be as straight as possible. Don't go through my phone, naked picture of guys gonna pop up. My uncle's gonna ask, who the fuck is that dude? I'm gonna be like, a model. So that was me, on that table, being so conscious of myself, of one big part of myself, of one, I would say, important part of myself. At the same time, I'm happy that I get to sit there, but I am containing myself, and if you know how that feels, it kind of sucks. So you might be wondering, why don't you just come up to them? Is they really that homophobic? Why don't you just say something? Why are you afraid of being yourself? Don't get me wrong, I'm not afraid of being myself. I'm gay here. My parents know that I am gay, but my extended family doesn't. My aunt and uncle doesn't. And I don't care that much about them. Bitch doesn't give a fuck. And I don't care that much about them. As long as they think that I am fulfilling my role as the oldest son in that generation, as long as they think that I am doing great, as long as I am reaching their expectation, as long as they're happy with what I'm doing, I am happy to pretend to be straight for a few hours. It doesn't mind. So that was me, pretending to be straight for a few hours, just to make my extended family happy. And I will always, I guess, continue to be sitting on that table, to be the man of the family, to be the diamond of my generation, to show my cousin my good behavior, to set example for them, because that was my culture. That's how I grew up in. That's how I was taught growing up, to be the best, the oldest, top tier son in the generation, to be great, to set example for your cousin. And I've been told that for 16 years of my life. So I didn't ever change. I was just always that. Even right now, I'm telling you that I'm pretending to be straight just to make them happy. Holy fuck my life. Yeah, and that was that. The conversation on that table went on for a few hours. However, everything bad always comes to an end. And at 3 p.m., so after lunchtime, we all went home, all of our family. And now I am home in my house with my family who are kind to me. And now I am actually looking at a picture of a naked guy on Instagram. My phone rang, and guess who? My friend, not boyfriend, I don't have a boyfriend, single. Hi. So my friend rang me and be like, hey, do you want to go out? And would a gay guy say no? No, I said yes. I would go out with him. I have a few friends in the province who I'm still connected with, who I'm still associate myself with, because half of them are just asshole, but most of them who I am still connected with are kind. They are understandable. They understand the situation. They understand the outside world. Again, the province that I live in was the least developed province in Cambodia. To this day, it is still the least developed. Like, we just have Amazon last year, like the Amazon coffee. We just have cafe. Like, cafe is the thing last year. And it's been a thing in Europe for how many years? And it's been a thing in Phnom Penh for how many years? But cafe just popping up last year. So imagine that. Have to drink Vietnamese coffee. It's not bad, but I'm not being racist.
Cambodian though.
So yeah, so my province is not good. So the friends who live there are not the best, but there are a few who are supportive of me, who are kind and understand me. So I am still connected with them and still go out with them. So that night, after Chinese New Year in the morning, at 5, 6, we went out to have barbecue and soup at a riverside place. Now I'm sitting with my friends, four of them, some straight, some gays, and we're talking about boys, sex, and boys, and sex, and boys, and sex. A little bit about study, but mostly that. And the conversation went on for like 3 hours. We eat and talk, and it's like, how's your life? Do you have a boyfriend yet? Are you still single? Are you still doing it raw? No, use protection. And
PSA.
yeah, that was our conversation. It was the other side of myself. It was my gay self talking to them, expressing my other part of myself, being, I would say, free, happy of this other part of myself that I can be with them, and how they are also giving me back positive vibe, being happy of me, telling me, oh yeah, you're doing great, and it's okay, you deserve something better, all of that jazz to a normal friend would say. But me growing up in that province, I don't have a lot of friends, and when I go back, I do still have them, and it was, I would say, the best thing ever. And that was my table, my gay friend table, I would say. Uncle's table was his gay friend table.
Yay.
That was my gay friend table. We had a lot of fun, we talked, and it was so nice. I felt so good, And you might say it's a little bit controversial how I'm talking about I like pretending to be straight in front of my Asian family, but also being gay at the same time. It is controversial, but the thing is, I believe that life is not black and white, but instead all color of the rainbow. I don't think you can't say something that's definitely white, that's gonna be black. I think it could be pink, it could be blue, it could be purple. It could be so many type of scenarios, and I don't want to limit myself to be like, oh, sometimes gay, sometimes straight. I don't know, maybe sometimes bisexual. I haven't tried that yet. But yeah, so that was my experience in one day of Chinese New Year this year of how I get to be in uncle's table, and then at the evening I went out with my friends. And I would say that it sucks to have two people living in the same body, but these two people are finding peace together. These two people are comfortable staying in this body together, and these two people found happiness together. And that's me, being a big brother by day and a playboy by night. Now, I want to express myself that I am so lucky to have parents who are accepting of me. Not at first, okay? It takes a long while to convince them. But they are now. I'm so lucky to have parents who are accepting of my story now. I'm so lucky to have people who adjust their story to make me feel comfortable. I'm so lucky to feel comfortable with my own story. And I'm so comfortable with sharing my story. You never know how other people's story is, so always be aware. Thank you.